Welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. We're going to have an interesting show. We're going to have a lot to talk about. It's Hanukkah is coming, and I want to introduce my co-host. Soya, how are you?
Hi, everybody.
Boomy's not here this weekend.
And we miss him.
We do miss him. He is on a temporary strike due to the no raise clause in his contract. That's a joke. He had some personal issues. Boomy, we're going to miss you. We love you. And Soya, what number do we call in to call into the show?
718-303-9090.
718-303-9090. We have a very interesting somebody in our... Wade is filming me a documentary. I was pretty boring today. I don't know, Wade, he wasn't too happy with me because usually I'm more exciting. But he came late in the afternoon and I was just sitting there having pizza and... he didn't like my pizza.
He's a cool guy. I'm sitting next to him just for a few minutes.
I know. I gave him donuts, but he didn't eat it. That's why
he's
skinny.
healthy.
Anyways, everybody, we're going to talk about the show. I'm also going to talk about, you can watch my show on Just Enough Heshy. We're going to do our commercials quickly tonight because everybody's been complaining about it. Heshy, it takes so long. Well, I got to talk about my people. They got to pay me somehow. And, of course, we have, most importantly, we're going to be talking about different issues. But, Soya, as you know, and before I start my show, this is very important to all of you listeners out there. You're going to tell me conspiracy theories. You're going to tell me the Democrats are not in charge. You're going to tell me things are not happening. And I'm going to tell you other stuff. YouTube took a video off of my sheet this week, and you're going to be freaking out why. They sent me a message. You're going to love this, guys. YouTube sent me a message. Hi, Heshy. Our team has reviewed your content. Are you listening to this? And unfortunately, we think it violates our medical misinformation policy. We've removed the following content. This video that says that I reported that the COVID spiking in my neighborhood was a lie. So they're saying that this is the reason why they took it off.
No, I think it smells more like the bozo somebody complained.
Wait a minute. YouTube does not allow content that explicitly disputes the efficiency of local health authorities or World Health Organization, the WHO guidance on social distancing.
And neither does Facebook. And look at them, they're being sued.
All I did was I walked into the hospital, I took a video, I counted the beds, and I said I only see 2 COVIDs. I see 20 open beds on 3 floors. I spoke to the ambulance drivers outside. They said it's a quiet night. And they're telling me that's against World Health Organizations, that they're saying the numbers are crazy. Instead, I'm the crazy one. So again, I was...
Of course you are. You're disproving what they're saying.
Yeah. And I want to ask you a question right now, and we're going to start the show. If masks work, right, Soya? Masks work, right? Yes or no? Don't shake your head. I can't see it on the radio.
No, masks do not work.
But let's say masks work.
Okay, then we'll go with that.
Then why do we need 6 feet of social distancing? But let's just say we have 6 feet of social distancing can work. Why do you need the masks?
I don't know. They're trying to bring fun into our lives, like the games we used to play when we were little.
Let's just say masks work and the 6 feet work. If both of them work, then why do we need to have the lockdown? But let's just say we need the masks. Everybody, Heshy's crazy.
We're following you. We're listening.
Heshy's crazy. You need the masks. You need the 6 feet social distancing. You need the lockdown. So if we're doing all of this, why do we need the vaccine?
Don't forget the hand sanitizer.
Whatever. But now why do we need the vaccine? But let's just say now, if the vaccine is so safe, then why is there a liability clause? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's just never-ending story. And this guy de Blasio is saying we're coming to the end of the COVID thing. We're not coming to it. The man has no idea of what's going on in the city. And I want you to know, I was at a restaurant yesterday with a bunch of very nice people. And it's called, you're going to like this place, it's called Taveri. And it is located, I just want to say, it's not a commercial for them, 1391 Coney Island Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, Trastevere. It's on Coney Island. These guys took me out to dinner. Beautiful. The food was just delicious. And, they're going to be my supporters. They were singing songs.
You told me it was a fancy place.
It was fancy. I never saw this place before. It was really cool.
So you're going to take Linda?
Linda only gets pizza. I can't afford what those guys paid. Those guys are crazy. Anyways, we're going to do our show this week. Let's start with we're going to do it quickly because time is running out already. We have High Tech Web Group. He runs this show. This guy is just wonderful. He's great. 212-235-2777. 212-235-2777. His email address, I'm saying his website is info, or his email, I think it's info at hitechwebgroup.com, HITECH webgroup, WEBGROUP.com, 212-235-2777. If you see this show, how professionally he runs the program.
He can set up a website for you.
He can construct your site with skill and precision so you can finally experience a whole new world of business. Let his team of professionals help you. This guy is just great. I love Jaime. 212-235-2777. I'm just falling in love with the man because it's just he cares. You should see the way he calls me after the show. He's even getting me one of those Kindles, or what do you call it again, pads. So now you guys can make comments, and he's going to make me listen to those comments. By the way, do you see the Hanukkah menorah next to me? Wait, do you see the Hanukkah menorah? You know what that means, right? Hanukkah is coming.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's a big Hanukkah party Sunday. I can't tell you yet where, but you all know it's going to be.
I heard you're going to have donuts.
I'm going to have donuts. I'm going to have
Latkes?
food there. And you're going to come to my office. We're going to have this party. I want everybody to come, Jews, Christian, whatever. And I'm going to have to hide it because supposedly de Blasio found out and he's going to threaten me. Not that I'm scared. He's not coming in without a warrant.
So we're going to have to play the dreidel in secret?
We're going to play the dreidel in secret. You're going to come meet me. You're going to take pictures. I hear some high-profile people are coming. Come to my party. I'm going to let you know on my thing. Yes, let de Blasio find out. You're going to see a war, but nobody's coming into my building without permission. Who's next on our list?
We have TT Styles, hair, wigs, makeup, wedding events, and all affairs. Tehila, she will do you up to a T. You can email Tehila at TEHILA@TEETESTYLES.com, or you can reach Tehila at 718-675-6842. That's 718-675-6842. And remember, she brings out the beauty in you.
That was very good.
I know, I stole Boomy's line.
That was very, very good. I'm impressed with you, sweetheart.
Okay.
But do you know that a young lady, and I know you're going to have a good laugh, I'm going to continue the commercials. I know we didn't do much. There was a young lady. She texted me and WhatsApped me and Instagrammed me.
She's being terrorized.
She's being terrorized by the Coronavirus Task Force. And this is what
the mayor. I'm sorry, by the bozo.
Hi, Heshy. How are you? I have a question. My baby, a baby that doesn't get corona, 7 months, was taken to the hospital for a breathing issue. And she came out positive corona, which is a lie to begin with. And apparently the hospital reported the baby case to the Corona Task Force. They're calling themselves, they call her every hour, they're harassing her. They want nonstop, and she answered questions. They want to know tracing monitoring. They're still calling her nonstop on who she went out with, which people that she lives with, what school she goes to. And this is a 7-month-old baby, and she asked me to give her some advice. So what advice do you think I gave her? Somebody sent me this video.
I love that video.
I want you to hear this video, guys.
Hello. Hello, ma'am. We've been informed that you tested positive for COVID-19. We're going to need to know exactly who you've been with. Okay, I'm actually a stay-at-home mom, and I work from home. But there's only one person that I've actually been in contact with. Okay, great. We're just going to need their name. Okay, the only person that I've been outside of my house with is Andrew Cuomo. That's Andrew Cuomo as in the governor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, A-N. Okay, is this a joke? No, I'm being serious. Okay. We went out last Tuesday and actually we shared a milkshake. This is a serious question. Actually, we were using one straw, so yeah. That's Cuomo.
One straw.
C-U-M. Got it? Thank you. Bye.
Now, guys, this is what you have to do. This girl was genius. I'm out with Andrew Cuomo. I'm out with Mayor de Blasio. If they ever call me on the corona thing, I'm going to say that I'm out with, what's that crazy
What are you talking about? No, you're together with Cuomo and de Bozo. You're having
I can't go out with Cuomo and de Blasio. I was out with Mrs. de Blasio.
Mrs. de Bozo.
Mrs. de Blasio. That's what you're going to do. Guys, don't be scared. Stand up. You know, our movement is moving. You got to start screaming back. Don't let them in your store so they find you. Now, I want you to know this week there was a guy, Max Public House.
I can't get over the one straw.
I know. But Max Public's house, this poor guy, they shut his bar. They arrested him. They rearrested him. Undercover cops jumping his car. Did you ever watch the television show Starsky and Hutch?
Yeah.
So these cops are jumping on a guy who has his bar open. He's running away. He did nothing wrong. Now, I want to tell you we're going to talk about all the crime, all the murders, all the rapes, but we're arresting bar owners. And Heshy Heshy Tishley that stands on the street making a protest on a holiday. Anyways, let's go
I want to tell you one thing, though. The fact that he was kept driving because he was, you know what? He needs to go and say his defense is that he was in fear for his life. Because you're in fear for your life, and
that's what he said he's going to do. Anyways, next up on our list is Plaza Auto Leasing, our favorite auto leaser.
They are not only a leasing company, but but also a dealership. You get the best of both worlds, the flexibility to lease or buy any vehicle, make or model, combined with quick service, huge inventory, and easy approvals. There is no finance manager to meet with, just a friendly pal, sales representative that can handle most of the transactions from start to finish, without you even having to step foot in their office. All you have to do is place your order, and they will even deliver your car right to your door. What are you waiting for? Become a pal and call Plaza Auto Leasing today. And don't forget to tell them Uncle Heshy sent you. You can reach Plaza Auto Leasing at 718-975-9000. That's 718-975-9000.
You are great. You actually practiced that one, if I'm correct.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Anyways, Plaza Auto Leasing, where they located? One more time.
2750 Nostrand Avenue. That's 2750 Nostrand Avenue.
You're very good. I'm very proud of you. And then we have Cook's Power. He's one of my favorite electricians. Cook's Power, 347-794-8236. His email address is kugspower@gmail.com. 347-794-8236. Go ahead.
A family-owned and operated company
She's
serving the
all my
Brooklyn
business.
community and local areas, committed to quality and superior customer service. They specialize in residential and commercial lighting, installation and repairs, as well as wiring or rewiring of your home or business. Check out their website, www.cookspowernyc.com, or call Cooks Power at 718-794-8236. That's 718-794-8236. Call Cooks. 347-794-8236. Call Cooks Power and live a happy life.
You're doing very good tonight, my darling. Yeah, I'm very proud of you. And then, of course, who do we have? My favorite lawyer, James Meadows. James, first of all, by the way, Cook's Power, you have to be very serious when you're dealing with electric guys. Don't mess around, so deal with it correctly. But we have James Meadows. He's for speeding, cell phone, texting, stop sign tickets. He's a second-generation criminal lawyer, but he doesn't cover, cameras or easy pass violations. James doesn't do plea bargaining. He has hundreds of online reviews, moving violations. He's just really, really very good.
And a highly ranked traffic lawyer, former criminal lawyer, dedicated to all moving violations throughout New York State. James handles all points-related moving violations in New York City, Long Island, and upstate New York. So for when you're going upstate to the country. Speeding, red lights, cell phone, stop sign, failure to lead, and improper turn are traffic offenses with stiff penalties, including huge fines, points, increased insurance rates, suspension of your driver's license, and even being arrested. The law office of James Meadows is your best chance of beating your traffic tickets. Call 845-TICKETS. That's 845-TICKETS or 845-842-5387.
We're almost done, everybody, but I want you to, I will get to that in the next. But James, I love you, James. Don't forget to save my butt. I got those tickets. Help me out. Don't dump me in the stuff. And then, of course, we have Corner Cafe. Linda has the number on speed dial. I'm so sick of it. I have the number on speed dial. I've been calling Corner Cafe. That's why I've been gaining a lot of weight. Corner Cafe, located at 2 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. You can come in. They have their mask. They have sitting. 718-435-2233. Trust me, they have free deliveries because they've been delivering it to me all week long. 718-435-2233. And then we have Traveler's Choice. Traveler's Choice, you can reach Joey and Devora Life at 212-868-8698 for all your travel needs. Anywhere you want to go. I'm going down to Florida at Christmas, New Year's, which I'm not going to go. But he got me great tickets for $69. You can go down to Florida, have a great time, go to China, go to Israel. Well, we're not going to China. 212-868-8698, 212-868-8698, and whatever. Give him a call. You're going to have a great time over there. We're going to start our show. We have a lot to talk about, but we're going to do my quote of the day. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And I have a great quote.
Hit me.
I have two of them. Real men despise battle, but will never run for it. You know what I mean? Run from it. That means, listen to me, I hate to go to war with the governor. I hate to go to war with the mayor. But these guys are going to war with us. I'm not going to stand quiet and idly by. Listen, Mr. Mayor. Listen, Mr. Governor. I'm coming after you. I'm going to be city councilman next year, no matter what. I'm already building my war chest. I'm going to be announcing officially next week. Guys, city council, and my website is heshytishler.com. $5, $10, $15. Help me get in there, guys. I'm going to build a coalition, an alliance of men. I know you hear it every week. I swear to you guys, I'm not making any major promises, but I'm going to make changes. And the mayor's gone anyways when I get in, and the new mayor is going to sit down with us. I'm even going to try to fight and vie for the to be the head of the city council. But even if I don't, I'm going to put together an alliance that will fix things. And the governor is the only one that's going to stay in power. And I'm going to put up people against the governor. And even if I have to run up against the governor myself, which I have no choice, and I don't want it.
And we know you'll do it.
And, they sat down with me. They said, Heshy, why are you really running for city council? Run for mayor. Run for governor. If you lose, you'll be famous. You'll be on the TV. I'm not interested. I'm interested in fixing my city. I don't need the money. Me and Linda are happy. I want to help my neighbors. I want to help my community and all 5 boroughs. I'll see what I know the movement will spread. I'm getting calls from North Carolina on my TikTok, on my Instagram. People are thanking me, loving us.
Everybody knows you.
But they're giving me support, and I'm telling you, we need the movement to go. Guys, don't let these people knock us down. California is a lockdown. I promise you, Hanukkah, come to my party. I'm going to have more than 100 people there. I'm going to have donuts, great donuts. Wait, come to me. I have great donuts. You can see I'm fat. I'm very good at it. But this is my favorite quote that I want to say tonight. I hope, me, Heshy, I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles. Are you ready? The character of an honest man. And you know who said that? George Washington. No, I'm not George Washington, but I'm going to keep my character. I'm going to try to be an honest man. I'm going to try to follow the rules, and I'm going to make sure that I fight for the city's health, benefit, and try to bring back all the sickness this mayor did. Shutting down 110,000 restaurants across this country, putting them bankrupt, New York City bankrupt. He's now going to worry. 3 years ago, he said he was going to handle the homeless issue.
How deep in the hole are we?
$9 billion. He's 3 years as mayor on the second term, promised to help, happened to promise to take care of the homeless issue. Now he's going to wake up on his last term.
You know what he wants to do? He wants to go and charge us $3 every time I get a package.
But forget
for
about
every package.
my homeless people. What about my homeless people? He's not caring about them.
He's going to make the rest of us homeless.
I know. You want to hear my joke? It's a very funny joke. As you know, my son Yaakov is beautiful, and I remember today I saw his. You know the skinny pants thing. I hate the skinny pants thing. I have.
You have skinny pants.
No, I just ripped them, and then Linda fixed them again, and I ripped them again, and she fixed them again. I said, Linda, I don't want the skinny pants. I'm actually ripping them. Okay. So I promised not to burn any more of her ties. Okay. Everybody makes fun of it. So, anyways, Yaakov comes home, and he comes home now from college today. And not today, but this happened a couple weeks ago. And I see that his pants are like halfway above his socks. Now, nobody believes that a plants that is it's like flood time,
He didn't grow.
So what happened was I asked Yaakov, I said, Yaakov, and I looked at him, how much taller he is, because Yaakov went to school at 5'8", and he came back 6 months later, and I saw he was taller. And when I measured his height, he's 5'11". I said, Yaakov.
He couldn't have grown.
He did. And I said, Yaakov, remember, he's 20 years old. I said, Yaakov, did you not notice that you've grown and the clothes are short on you? These guys. He says, no, Pop, I'm doing my own laundry. I thought the clothing shrunk. I says, dumbbells. So I had to go buy him a whole new set of clothing, but I love him, that boy. That's a crazy little boy. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm hoping to get Rabbi Smith on the phone. We have Rabbi Smith on the phone, and we're going to get him on. Get him on the phone, line 1. Rabbi Smith, are you with us?
I'm right here. I'm here listening. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Did you like my joke, by the way? No, but
which one? You said so many jokes so far, I can't keep track of them.
Oh, good. I like you, Rabbi Smith. Not only are you handsome, but you're smart and intelligent. Rabbi Smith, you are an advocate. You are a religious Jew. You are an Orthodox Jew. And I'm so happy you joined our show because we have a lot of issues in the city. And I heard you speak at that rally on Sunday. You are a wonderful man. By the way, at the rally, Rabbi Smith, when you finished and I left, 8 BLM members surrounded me. You know that? And they started to scream and holler, and I told them, I don't think it's a fair fight, 8-1, because I'm going to kick their ass. I'm going to kick all your butts. And right away, the police came swooping in and pushing them away and putting me in my car and getting the traffic done.
We didn't do shout out, Sergeant Peter.
Sergeant Peter, I love you. Anyways, and my granddaughter Mira Nava. But Rabbi Smith, you spoke so well. Do you understand that we are in trouble in this city? We have a crazy mayor. I don't want to talk about the election with the president that I love so much. And by the way, Rabbi Smith, every night of this week, starting Hanukkah, we're going to be lighting the menorah in front of Gracie Mansion. They've asked me to speak one night to light the candles and make the blessing. So you're all invited to come. Open protest Hanukkah in front of Mayor de Blasio's mansion. We're going to make the blessing, and there's going to be a concert by Nissan Black. Did you ever hear of him?
Oh, yes.
He's coming, and he's flying in, and he's going to be doing a concert there. But Rabbi Smith, you are an intelligent man. Maybe I'm crazy. People are telling me, Heshy, there's nothing wrong. Nothing is bad. So we have the pandemic. So you wear masks. So we're taking away your civil rights. So we can't feed you. You know what? That's the way life is. Too bad. Is that acceptable to you? And here's the best part, Rabbi Smith. I'm closing your synagogues. I'm closing your schools. You have to be locked at home. I don't want you to get married. I mean, why are our leaders accepting this, Rabbi Smith? You are a rabbi. Maybe God told you to close it. Am I crazy? Is something wrong here? Is something wrong here?
Let him answer.
I am.
How much longer do you want to go on for? I'll be happy to leave.
Nothing, Rabbi Smith. It's your I had to scream at you a little bit. That's what I do for a living. Go ahead, Rabbi Smith.
So the challenge is that people don't realize what they're up against, and you spend a lot of time criticizing the mayor, but you don't realize that the mayor is but one of thousands of functionaries in city after city, county after county, country after country around the world that is taking measures against the population, making a war of public health against the citizens. And Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo are no different than the other people that are doing it in practically every country in the world.
Why?
It's just a matter of degree and
why? But why is the question?
Well, the why is simply that this is a communist revolution. This is a Marxist revolution, a progressive revolution, however you want to call it. I like to call it the October 2020 revolution. Just like the October 1917 revolution in Russia. And it has a veneer of seriousness that, just like in Russia, the veneer of seriousness and legitimacy of the revolution was based on the need to take care of the people and to provide for the people and to get rid of the dictatorial czar and so forth. Now the reason is because there's something in the air that everyone must be locked down, locked in their houses, destroy human relations, interactions, destroy the synagogues, the places of worship, and the schools and the children, and create all kinds of deformities in people's mental health.
But Rabbi Smith, it doesn't make sense. Explain to me what you just said. Just doesn't make sense. I understand that's what they're doing to us, but it doesn't make sense that we, the people, are allowing to do it. We have a constitution. We have 200 and something years of beauty of fighting, people dying for this right of freedom, and and half of the country, whether they voted for a fake election for Mr. Biden or not, is actually giving into this. I mean, there's no way I'm giving up my freedom. And I'm a grown man, a father of children and kids that came through my house. It doesn't make sense to me. How does a grown man allow himself to be locked in his house, to live without money, not to be able to feed his children, putting business owners out of business, having people lose their homes or buildings, and what you just said makes sense, but then again, we're allowing this to happen. We are a country of love. I mean, the world is maybe, like, you know what they say, the whole world is crazy and you're not. Really, you're the crazy one and everybody is not. Is that the way it is?
Well, to answer that question, I draw your attention to a little history. I have here a book called My Opposition, The Diary of Friedrich Kellner, a German against the Third Reich. And if you read this book, you'll discover that everything he describes in there about all the people who decided that it would be easier just to stay quiet and not stand up and put themselves in harm's way by opposing the attempts by the government to scare everyone and bully all the Germans into following along. Bully everyone into showing their loyalty to the public health measures, doing things for their safety. Everything was for their safety, just like it is now.
Haven't we learned? Haven't we learned from these mistakes of the past? I mean, we're so smart. We have technology, we have internet, we have computers, we can travel around the world in 1/3 the time we ever did before. And are we just so foolish? Like you just said, look what you're telling us what happened. And here's my thing to you, my religious rabbi. Is God allowing this for? I mean, now I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame God. God must say, maybe I'm going to make everybody stupid and let this happen to them. I mean, Hanukkah is coming. We have to fight back. I know that my ancestors fought back. I know Abraham, Avram fought back. We cannot, I mean, why aren't we fighting back? Why aren't our leaders and rabbis? Is it for the money? Because even according to you, they're going to take away all our money anyways.
Well, first of all, Hanukkah was a story of 11 people. It was 11 people that stood up against the Greeks. So even in that time, it was not exactly like everyone woke up and fought for what was right. I think the difference between the time of Hanukkah and previous times is that really God's vision for every human being is to recognize that he's created in God Almighty's image and that he is created, has the divine image is on each man and woman, and to recognize that and stand up to be a dignified human being. That is the goal. Instead of having a leader come and rescue us, it is the time and the hour for every person, like those heroic rabbis who kept their synagogues open this entire time. They kept their yeshivas open this entire time, even though they were visited by one rabbi. His son told me that his father received 30 visits from the police department to try to close his synagogue, and he just did not comply. He just ignored them because it is clearly God's will that every human being conduct themselves in a way of getting together in congregation to praise God Almighty and show gratitude. It's clearly God's intention that everyone get together as families. It's clearly God's intention that children should get together to study.
So what you're telling me is, because we had all the leaders, and only 11 people stood up against the Greeks. So it's good that just a few people, I mean, the rest of the people. So me just standing up alone, standing there against our government, our mayor, guys like from Max Public's house, and the little people that are just keeping up, and we don't have any support, even though people are joining the movement. That is good enough. That is the message, and you think we'll beat them? I mean, Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo have so much power that they're actually shutting us down. I mean, they're actually destroying us, and we there's no way to stop them. I'm trying. Where we are rebelling, we are doing civil disobedience, but he's sending in, when the police don't listen, he sends in 40 sheriffs. He has people being arrested who are honorable men in jail overnight. He's threatening women. He's scaring people who are already under. You know, there was a young autistic boy that stabbed his sister because he's locked in his house. You have children that are losing it. You have parents that are committing suicide. I thought, God forbid, that we wouldn't get over 100 suicides. We have 101 suicides alone in my community. And it doesn't end because this guy is locking us down. He's making agita. He's getting people nervous, and I don't know what to do. Now, people are asking me, Heshy, what changes are you going to make? I don't know. I'm going to try to fight. I'm going to try to get rid of half of his stupid legislation. But why are 51 good councilmen agreeing to this and not fighting with him? And my question to you, Rabbi, is, again, you're a smart man. You're an advocate. You've counseled people like me who are lost. Why are we allowing this? Why aren't we standing up? You must understand, we are lost. How do we unlose ourselves?
Okay, so the answer is, first take a deep breath.
I love you.
It's only a 1 hour show.
Okay.
We don't have time for that much breathing.
Well, no, we have to breathe. Okay. We have to breathe because if we play back your questions, they're running in circles, and you're actually contradicting yourself. Because on one hand, you're saying you're going to say you're going to win. On the other hand, you're going to say the guy has all the power and he's going to win, and there's no way to win.
I never said he's going to win. No, Rabbi, I never said he's going to win. What I'm saying is that he's winning now, and I'm fighting him. We're fighting him. I am fighting him, but he's beating us.
Okay. One second. He's fighting. Okay, 1 second. Let's play back the tape. So here's the key. Here's what I want to focus on. I want to focus you on the winning solution here. And the winning solution is to know no one is educated, or very few people are educated today in the art of what it takes to be a man and a woman who lives in a place and a spiritual place of liberty. You have to know that when someone pretends to look strong, when someone's threatening you, he is extremely weak. The weakest moment for Governor Cuomo and the mayor and all these task force is right now, because people are not wanting to follow this. 58% of the people are hanging up the phone on contract tracers. Now is the time for people to stand up. If like Mac's Public House, if 100 people were to do the same thing as him, instead of making a demonstration, 100 people open their business or 1,000 people open their business tomorrow morning.
A domino effect.
Then it would not just domino effect. They would have to back off. Remember that lady in the subway when they tried to arrest her for not wearing a mask, and she kicked and screamed, and she was arrested by 7 police officers. It looked like she was losing, but she was winning,
and there was a child with her.
The mayor said he's not going to fine anymore for not wearing masks. And then when that gets accepted and then people get relaxed, then he brings in the fines again. So it has to be a consistent attitude, a spiritual attitude of liberty, people walking around like normal human beings. And that is where the victory lies.
But you know what? The mayor, again, is threatening with the governor to shut down the city. You have them threatening all vaccines. You have this crazy woman, Linda Rothenthal, from the Assembly, and she just introduced a bill to the Assembly to mandate that COVID vaccine for every individual in the state. I also sent her an email like other people. She's mandating, she's going to pass the law, and now here's the deal. If you don't take your vaccine, you can't go into stores.
Yeah, but why do you think she's going to pass the law?
Because the Assembly...
She can only pass the law. She can only pass the law if most people in every district do not pick up the phone, they do not go into the streets, do not open their businesses, do not stop following all these decrees. That's the only way to pass the bill. It's not because they have some power. The missing piece of the equation over here is that the people are willing to tolerate this. And I heard someone say that there's nothing, only thing worse than a person who wants to control other people is a person who's willing to comply. And this is the key. We have to recognize that the power, the godly power in every single human being is such that they do not have to do very much other than just act like a normal human being. Get up in the morning, go to work, open your business. Now, I get questions like this. But, Rabbi, or if they're calling me in my capacity as a lawyer, I might get fined. Well, I have a news for you. If you are afraid of getting fined, if you're afraid of going to jail, then you've missed the message of the Declaration of Independence. You can't walk around flying an American flag and then say you're afraid of getting fined or having your license taken away from your business.
That's my point to you. We've already spilled the blood in the revolution. We've already lost thousands of people in the Civil War. We've lost people in World War I. We've lost people in World War II. We've lost in the Korean War. We're tired of fighting. We've come to the point where our nation, we've created a nation. And we've given our blood and lives, our parents, our uncles, our friends, family. I'm tired of crying. You're telling me, well, we have to continue the fight. No, the fight is over. We've accomplished the impossible. Now that we've done the impossible, we have to continue this fight. You know, I just want you to know, there was a guy who exposed Hunter Biden. You know who that story with Hunter Biden with his corruption. And, you know, they found the guy dead. Now, did he actually commit suicide or was he killed? That's how dangerous
I think it was the computer hack.
But
these high people are so...
No, but they're not so dangerous. They're powerless. They are really powerless. There's so few of these. Most of the police officers are on the side of the people. This is something that you are creating in the same time that you're shouting out against these people. You're making them into more powerful than they really are. They are completely powerless.
Powerful. We have a guy who's running, whose name is, he was a city council member, always fighting for his people, screaming about rents, screaming about places to live, fighting for his community. His name is Jumani Williams. I never really liked him. Now I think he's running for mayor, maybe, who knows? He's out the public advocate. He's number 2 on the mayoral line. If anything happens to Mayor de Blasio, God forbid anything should happen to him. But because if I say anything,
you gotta be careful.
I'm very careful. They're gonna come and mess me.
Don't be shoving chickens.
So you know what he says? Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio said next Monday we're gonna maybe shut down the city. He gets on TV and he says, I want to shut down now. I mean, I mean, this guy, they just don't care about the people. They're earning salaries. They're running around. They're having parties. They're doing whatever they want. And again, he's shutting us down. He says, why should we wait? Why should we control the numbers? You know, the numbers are controllable. The numbers are lies. Like I told you in the beginning of the show, YouTube took me off after I personally witnessed the numbers. It's not like I got numbers. And just for your knowledge, I put on the phone one of the people from the funeral parlor in my neighborhood called Shomer Adas. And I said to him, you know, what I'm hearing from the mayor and the TV, people are dying on the street. I'm telling you left and right. He says to me, not only is the numbers less than last year of October, November, December, if you look at the death certificates, less. I understand March, April, May, June. He says not only the numbers are less, because all you have to do is go onto the CDC and the health department websites, and you'll see the death records from last year to this year are less. He says he's actually slow in the funeral parlor. He's never been so slow. And I don't understand, with all these deaths and sicknesses, again, the numbers are lies. I understand the press, what they're doing, Rabbi. But there's my question to you is you're telling us to rise up, but we seem not to. We seem to be scared. I don't know what to do. I'm going to rise. I'm going to fight back.
But there's an answer. One second, there's an answer. The answer is that what's the problem is a spiritual ailment. The spiritual ailment is an ailment when a person does not feel God in their life, in their space, in their soul, when they're not in conscious contact with who they really are as a divinely created human being. They are then unable, they are unable to stand up. They become someone who's willing to let someone else rule over them. That is slavery. Physical slavery starts with spiritual slavery. So the answer is not so much to focus on the plans of those that want to destroy business and destroy society and destroy the Constitution, but to focus on the people who have been deprived of a proper education, whether it's Jewish people and non-Jewish people, by going to schools that do not teach about God. And even in the Jewish schools, they have many times half measures of what they teach. And they teach, there's a lot of fear and a lot of fear about where the money is going to come from, and a fear about the politicians and so forth is inculcated by advising people to vote for people that go against the Torah principles. What we need to do is we need to be the shepherds of faith to help each person reconnect with his Creator. Help each person reconnect with her Creator.
Whether they're Jewish or not.
Absolutely. God created every human being. Never b'tselem Elokim. Every human being is created in God's image, and every human being is meant to be fruitful and multiply.
I disagree with you, Rabbi. Cuomo and de Blasio were not created in God's image. They were created in some demon image. But, Rabbi, I want to ask you a question now. I want to ask you a question.
I have to correct you. I want to say it's very important not to say that, and I'll tell you why. Because every human being has the possibility, is created in God's image, and every human being has the possibility of recanting and retracting and changing direction.
So how would you even bring into a country where the government is pushing out God? It's not in God we trust anymore. We can't have holidays. We can't have religion. We can't have anything. You know, Hanukkah is about religious freedom. You know, you have the liberal left pushing pro-abortion, pro-euthanasia, against religious services, wanting to impose their worldviews on the entire world. And it takes, you were mentioning something about getting arrested and doing things. It takes brave people to resist their worldviews. You have to stand up and you have to push back. And, you know, Heshy Tischler is pushing back, but he cannot be the only person pushing back.
But Rabbi, I believe evil. I know what you're saying, that everybody can repent. I know, but Rabbi Smith, evil can never change. And these two men who don't even go to church, I never see them. I mean, I know de Blasio goes sometimes a fake. I don't believe Cuomo at all. The way they're treating another human being, there's no way they can ever be forgiven. Never can they be forgiven. But Rabbi, I want to ask you a question. We're coming a little bit to the end of the show, and I want to take a couple of calls for you. Are you going to take the vaccine or not?
I have no plans to take the vaccine, and I don't believe it's necessary. I don't believe it's the right thing to do, and it's certainly silly for anyone to announce already that it's something that has not even been tried yet. It's completely safe. It's a foolishness that is a part of the spell of the public health missionaries that have come over many respectable people to have them promote, using their trusted relationship with the people to promote something that is not good for the people. So the answer is no. But I just want to correct
But if you're not taking the vaccine, Rabbi, I'm not letting you into my store. I'm not letting your children in my school.
I don't think it should be anybody's business if you're taking it or not.
It is. And they're going to put a carrot in front of you, Rabbi. They're going to say, if you take the vaccine, I'm going to lower your health insurance. If you take the vaccine, I'm going to give you maybe a better job, or you'll be able to move up in the ranks. But you're not going to be able to come to my hospital if you don't take the vaccine.
Rev Heshy, 1 second. I have to say something, and I have to say this in the name of the Torah, because, and I respect what you're trying to do, but let's just get something very clear over here. The Torah teaches us that any human being, no matter how depraved they are, no matter how far from God they are, they have the ability to instantaneously return to God and to do what's called tshuva, which means to return to God. We see the book
of
Jonah. It's all about a whole nation of people that had gone astray repenting. We see that even Pharaoh, who murdered Jewish children and bathed in their blood, he himself came to recognize God. So the fact of the matter is, we have to start with the essential fundamentals. It is impossible to see our way out of this if we do not connect to the Torah principles that are eternal. And that's what this country is founded upon. The country was founded on the inspiration of the Jewish Torah teachings. Of the dignity of humanity.
You know that Cuomo said that God is not responsible for anything. He is responsible for fixing this problem, and God has no say in the matter. Remember that when he said that? He has no belief in God. I'm telling you right now.
They really don't. You know, the 10 Commandments, one of them is thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not loot, and they promote it.
So 1 second, you're either looking at them as beyond redemption, which is not the Torah approach.
I know that, but
they are redeemable.
They're not redeemable. There's no way that they can make millions of people suffer. Thousands of people go homeless or lose their homes. And how do we forgive them? Oh, my God, they're all of a sudden repent. They're never going to be able to pay us back. They're never going to be able to fix. I mean, like I said in the beginning of the show, if the masks work and the lockdowns work, like Dr. Fauci, he's a doctor, even though I think he's incompetent. Now he's all of a sudden telling us how to economically run our city. The man is not a businessman. The man is not economically run. These guys are coming into our lives and trying to touch every facet of where we live. And this is my problem, Rabbi. I'm looking at you right now. The reason I want you on my show, because spiritually, we're lost as a nation. These guys are taking away our love of God, and this is what makes us do good for our fellow man. We're losing it. People are killing themselves. People are depressed. Children are not learning. People are not getting married. Maybe they're doing population control. Maybe this vaccine is going to kill 10 or 20%.
Finally, yeah, but 1 second. 1 second here. You're focusing on, we're talking about the spiritual solution. Right now, you're focusing on how bad these people really are. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're focusing on how bad they are, but we have to focus on uplifting the people. Driving home how bad these guys is distracting everyone else from the hope. I want to tell you something. Your message reaches so many people. I think I told you this, but I just want to say it on the show because the person I'm talking about hopefully might be listening. I was coming outside my office, and I see an 18-wheel driver, one of those 18-wheeler drivers, and I stop and say hello to him, a non-Jewish fellow, and was speaking a little bit, and he says, I listen to Heshy. And he lives from somewhere up in New York, in some small town up in New York. So, first of all, hello to him. I won't say his name. But the fact of the matter is that he has hope, and people are listening, and they need to be they need the direction to know that this is a hopeful situation. Mankind is going to be woken up from its stupor. You just said earlier, Reb Heshy, you said, we're tired of fighting. That is an attitude that does not represent the attitude of the people in 1776 who gave themselves at every single battle to fight for the dignity of man, meaning to say the inalienable rights of liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness that every human being has.
Right, but
that is what they gave the life.
Don't we want to live? Don't we want to live? I mean, not that I'm tired of fighting back. I want to live in peace. I want to be left alone. I want to be able to enjoy my children, go for a walk with my wife, go into a store without being scared. You know, today my wife wore the mask outside. She came home and she forgot to take the mask off. And I'm looking at her for 15 minutes, whatever it is. And I had Wade in the house. I said, Linda, take the mask off, God's sakes. I mean, It's a way that you're trying to make the new norm, and that new norm is wrong. But anyways, I want to take a few callers, Rabbi. I want to take a couple calls. I want you to hear a call. Make sure you don't lose the Rabbi, no matter what. Go ahead, take a call. Let's take line 5. You're on the air with Heshy, Rabbi Smith, and Sawyer.
Hi, you're on the air.
No, I guess not. We'll take one more call. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Sawyer, not Boomy this week, and Rabbi Smith.
Heshy Tischler, how you doing, my friend?
How are you, my friend? Do you have any questions for us, or anything to say to me and Rabbi Smith? Is Rabbi Smith right or wrong?
I do have something to say. You're a true American patriot, and I followed in your footsteps when I came back from Thanksgiving. I was met by Cuomo's henchmen at the airport. I refused to engage with them. I would not fill out their form. It's a police state. I politely declined their request. It was the Department of Health. It was a complete intrusion upon my rights. So like you, Heshy, I am a free man. I fight for my freedom just like you do every single day when you go out into the streets. I'm not going to tolerate it. And then they must have run the flight manifest, and then they were trying to call me on my phone.
Wow.
Asking me where I've been.
You see, Rabbi Smith, they went to track this man in his home. Is that crazy, Rabbi Smith? They know they're listening to his calls. They're following him to his house. As it is, we have enough government agencies tapping our lines. And look at this poor man wants to be left alone. And look what they're doing. They're torturing him. And and he's fighting back. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
I wouldn't answer their calls, and if they asked me where I was going to tell them I was at Cuomo's mom's house, but it didn't get that far yet.
I love you. You're a wonderful guy. You're a wonderful guy. You heard what Rabbi Smith said, that it's that emotionally that we have to continue to fight. We can't break down. What do you say? I mean, is Rabbi Smith right or wrong? I mean, are we losing? Are we winning? What's the deal here? What do you think?
I think we got to keep fighting. I mean, I think we're in the right. You guys like you and I are in the right. I mean, when I walked through that line, there were a bunch of nebbishes, and they thought that they were going to get me to drecken my schmatas, and I'm not like that. I'm a free man.
You're wonderful.
I'm not afraid, and they were trying to engage in their mishigost, and I wasn't having it. I walked right through the line. I was polite, and I told them I'm not filling out any forms. I'm a free man. If you're going to arrest me, go ahead, get the cuffs. If you're not law enforcement, I'm out of here, and that's what I did.
You did great, and you did smart, and that's exactly right. Thank you for your call, my brother. You have a happy Hanukkah and happy holiday season.
Happy Hanukkah to you too, Heshy.
Thank you, my brother.
Same to you, Rabbi.
Good night.
Okay, let's take line 5. Let's take Rabbi. I love that. You see, he's one of you. He's fighting. You're on there with Heshy, Sawyer, and Rabbi Smith.
How are you, Heshy? This is your number one fan again. How are you?
This young man, this is a kid. He came, Rabbi Smith. This is a young religious Jewish boy. He came to my office. He's very supportive. He's so intelligent. Did you hear? You're a young man, and I want to talk to you as a young boy. Did you hear what Rabbi Smith said? Do you understand what he said?
Yes.
You have anything to say to Rabbi Smith?
No.
Anything to ask?
I love you. Nice call. Let's take it. You be good boy. I want to see you at my Hanukkah party. You got me?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Rabbi Smith, I want to take you one more call, and then I guess nobody wants to. Go ahead. You're on there with Heshy, Sawyer, and Rabbi Smith.
Yeah. I was listening to you think, and I personally think that you're retarded.
What did he say?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care. Take another call, and we'll just take line 5. Rabbi Smith, you're still with us, I hope. No, I guess we're losing everybody. Line 5. Hello, you're on the air. Okay. Anyways, let's forget about it. Oh, let's take line 2. Oh, that's very important. I like that. Heshy, you're on the air with Rabbi Smith.
Hello, Heshy. What's doing?
Good. Rabbi Smith, are you on the air with us still?
Yeah, I'm listening attentively.
I want you to hear. This is Heshy. Go ahead, Heshy. I want you to talk to Rabbi Smith.
Let me just say this. I'm going to tell you why the corona came. It's God's response to Sodom societies.
Oh, stop
I don't care what they say.
Heshy, stop it. You have Rabbi Smith on the phone.
Yes, Rabbi Smith if he's a rabbi and he's Orthodox, obviously he agrees with me. It's because of Sodom. That's what happened during the Mabul 4,100 years ago.
So
God
let's just say,
destroyed the entire world.
Heshy, let's just say you're right that it happened because we're all bad. My problem is right now we're trying to fight the government not to lock us down and take away. And Rabbi Smith is saying to fight back. Do we just, now that God is punishing us, do we just let it happen, or do we stand back against the government?
Let me explain. People have asked me, why did God even hurt religious Jews? Because we religious Jews did not fight against the gay marriage. We don't care about it.
Oh, God.
All we care about is making money. And Hashem says in the Gemara and the Torah, everyone knows that whenever we're not moicha, we don't protest, we get punished. That's what it says all over. And this Rabbi Smith will tell you. Rabbi Smith, am I not right?
We have a responsibility in every time, every situation, to always say in a loving way exactly 100% what the truth is.
So since we're not protesting back, since we're not standing up, God is now punishing everybody with this pandemic because we're not standing up to the government. Is that what you guys are saying? I mean, I love you guys, but that's not the way I look at it. And plus, remember, there is a 99.5% recovery rate. So again, it's just a sickness in my head that something bad happened, and we have to take care of ourselves. And it's like anything. You have cancer, you have leukemia, you have so many different new things that came out, and we will figure out a way with the new technology and the waters and stuff to fix it. I don't believe that God is punishing us. I believe that something bad happened and God is helping us. Look, the vaccine was found. 1, 2, 3.
I just want to jump in on this. Heshy, Rev Heshy, and then the other Heshy. I just want to jump on this point. I listen to people, and with respect to the caller, and I know a lot of people try to explain what's happening in the world by different suggestions. I think that it's difficult for me to say as a human being to know exactly why something is happening exactly the way it is in God's calculations. But I can tell you this, that I can see from what's happening and the way we're going that it's not going in the right direction. So therefore, the call of the hour is to, if whatever happened in the past, happened in the past. From this moment forward, every single person has to lovingly explain the truth to every person they see. Let people know that there's nothing to be afraid of. What the caller is talking about, the silence is always coming from a place of fear. It's not from a place of righteousness, it's a place of fear. So whenever you're silent on any subject, for example, the testing in the schools right now that the administrators are forcing on the kids, whether it's the closing of the synagogues, whether it's whatever's happening now, this is the opportunity to learn the lesson that we have to speak up, because now we see that it's not about something going on in someone else's house, that a person can close their eyes and say, it doesn't really matter to me what happens over there. It does matter to me. And I want to share with you something. You mentioned Mac's public bar, the bar. And someone said to me, Heshy said, because I've been talking about how this is a war on pruvu. It's war on the ability of humanity to multiply and have beautiful children and have as many as possible. And this person came to me and he said, Rabbi, I want to prove to you what you're saying is true, that it's really a war on being fruitful and multiply. He says, what is the one thing that every government is fighting against tooth and nail? They're fighting against in the Jewish community. They fight against making weddings. And then what's the other one thing that they fight against? Everyone from the CDC to the World Health Organization to the governor say is the worst, most dangerous place has to be shut down right away. And he said to me, it's the bars. You see, I don't go to bars, but I can tell you in God's plan, a bar is a place where a man and a woman meet, and that's where they set up a life together where they're going to bring children into the world, and that is what God wants.
Wow.
And what they're doing is stopping that from happening for all of humanity. That is a problem. So even we as Orthodox Jews that don't go to Mac's public bar, we should be supporting the opportunity for every human being, every man and woman to come together.
You made so much sense today that a bar is a place where people meet, where they can get married. See, this is the sense that I'm talking. I supported Max all along. I've been going to the demonstrations. I believe that people should have a place to go, a place to meet, to get out, and to go to restaurants. But they're just coming after us, and I'm not going to let them. I'm never shutting down. And I that was so great, Robert. The way you just said it, right there, you won me over. You made me melt. And I want to take one more call. Let's take line 5. Hello, you on the air with Heshy Sawyer and Rabbi Smith.
Hey, Heshy, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, Heshy. Well, I just wanted to say two things real quick. First, I just want to say that you have cojones of steel. I think you're a big inspiration because you go head-to-head with...
You made him blush.
Yeah, and second thing as well, I met you this past Sunday at the Fight for Freedom rally, and I did a small interview with you, and that sort of goes along with the inspirational quote that you've given us, where either you can do something or do nothing. And I feel like slowly but surely I'm starting, my own sort of journalism, my own independent reporting to sort of open the eyes and ears of those that still haven't awoken to what's going on in this country.
You are great. Thank you. That's
Beautiful.
exactly. I'm so happy you repeated. You hear, Rabbi? Do something or do nothing. I loved you. Thank you so much for the call, and I appreciate your call, and I wish you a happy Hanukkah and a happy holiday season, and I promise you, I know, Rabbi, you're going to get angry at me when I'm going to say that we don't celebrate Christmas, but I am going to celebrate every holiday with my brothers, the Christian brothers, the people from Staten Island, the people from the Bronx. I'm going to be going to more events. I'm so proud of you guys out there. Thank you guys for standing up. Thank you, caller, for your call. And Rabbi, you are just amazing. And I wish I can come to your house. Rabbi, I want you to hear from my co-host Bumi. Bumi, you're on the air with Rabbi Smith and, of course, your beautiful Soya and the wonderful, handsome me. Am I handsome?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bummy.
I've been waiting to get on. Hi, Soya, dear. Hi, Heshy, my love. How's everything? Listen, I'm listening to the show from the distance, and I'm very, very impressed by the way things are going as usual. And I wanted to comment just on a couple of items that the rabbi had said. Number one, there's no question that spiritually, if people were to be more spiritual across the board, and they believed in God, and they had that internal strength of faith to say that God is the only one that we answer to, and we do what's right, and that's it. If we had that complete, absolute, as we call it in Hebrew, bitachon, we would not be afraid of the local authorities and what they are trying to do in taking their authoritarian steps and trying to take away our liberties and our freedoms. However, unfortunately, most of us have not reached that point where we are so spiritual, so it's very, very difficult, Rabbi, to expect everybody to just believe, have faith in God, whatever they want to do to us, do the right thing and say, no, we're only afraid of God. We don't have to listen to the authorities, answer to the authorities. The fear is there. There's very few Heshys, if any, out there. There's a Dov Heiken, a very, very great man out there, my dear friend. But there are few people in that league like Heshy and Dov that will stand up and have the guts to do that.
I want to tell the Rabbi and you, Bumi, something that's bothering me very much. While your mayor and governor are so busy with everything else, I'm very upset about one thing. They have zero impact on crime. Right now, just alone, we have 420 murders. Forget shootings, murders already this year, as opposed to 304 last year, an increase of 38%. Shootings have doubled. Rabbi, shootings have doubled. Burglaries up 42%. Car theft 67%. Remember, we're supposed to be locked down and people are getting out swabbing cars. I guess maybe they're sleeping in the cars. And in the midst of this mayoral race, the city's back to the bad old days of the crime gone wild. I mean, Rabbi, I know you want me to have faith. I know we want to fight back, but nobody's helping us. And our leaders themselves are coming after the little guys. So you're going to close this out, Rabbi, in 30 seconds.
I want to interrupt because I know we only have 2 minutes, and I want to address what Bumi said, and I want to say like this. The answer is that each one of us, has to study and ingrain in ourselves this bitachon, this trust in God Almighty. I have a website, saveourfreedoms.org. SaveOurFreedoms.org. We could read more on that. I have materials on that. And what I challenge you to, Heshy, for next show, or as soon as you can, have me or another rabbi who can teach to your listeners the wonderful words of the gate of faith of the duties of the heart, Shar B'tochen of Chayvus Levavis, that will give people 50 minutes of something that will affect everyone in their life and give them faith in every challenge that they are facing in their life, and that's what's going to turn this country and this world around.
I love you, Rabbi. I love you, Bumi.
Question about that,
Thank
Rabbi.
you, guys.
I'm
going to finish the show. I want to thank our guys for coming to the show. Rabbi, thank you. Bumi, thank you. To my listeners, first of all, I want to thank all our advertisers. I want to thank everybody who put up with me. I want to thank all the people that met me at the restaurant yesterday, all my supporters that have sent me money to heshytishler.com and keep supporting me because I'm getting into the city council. I've got inspiration from this Rabbi Smith. He's out of this world. This man has inspired me not just to fight, continue fighting. I will never give up. I want my movement to move. Stand up, everybody, because I'm going to promise you one thing. Nobody's going to hold me back. I'm going to come there when you call me. I put in 18-hour days. I'm not scared, even though Wade called me boring today. I don't really care what Wade says. He only
you are anything but boring.
I know that, and he only bought me a pizza, stingy. Wade, you owe me money for a pizza. I want you 2 slices.
He's following you.
I love you, everybody.
You
Come back to my show. Next week is Hanukkah. I'm gonna
Good night, everybody.
I'm going to light the menorah on the show.
Happy
Happy Hanukkah.
The preceding program is a paid advertisement.